welcome back Wolves fans to your latest episode of GTA Fancast with me, Gully, on the Wolves Fancast YouTube channel. We're going to be reviewing an excellent victory over West Ham courtesy of a really well constructed Raul Jimenez goal. I'm going to be delving a little bit into the mechanics of the way we got that goal and also having a look at our attacking options, and on this occasion doing a little bit of a deep dive on Daniel Podence and how he was key to the Going to kick off by talking through that really excellent winning goal. It was a move that has been highlighted by Johnny Conceição on Twitter, Wolves coach, who's produced a video of a nice wide angle which shows the build-up play right from Jose Sarr. And I think the only outfield player that wasn't involved in the build-up ended up being Hwang Ki-chan, ironically, given how important he's been to us scoring goals recently. But you can see from start to finish, it was really well constructed. And one thing I've noticed with regards to our build-up play, especially at home, we really haven't got a problem with going back to the starting point. You know, and there are probably occasions where the fans have maybe been a little bit frustrated when they're seeing a forward option on and maybe trying to ask for the team to be a little bit more direct with their passing. But we're actually in a position now where we're recycling the ball very nicely, and we're very good at actually opening teams up with, you know, a bit more of a patient, slow build up and then really kicking into gear from the middle and attacking thirds. And this is exactly what happened for that winning goal against West Ham. You see in this screenshot here, the ball with Max Kilman. He's often in that kind of right-sided centre-half space, and because of his left-footed favouritism, it's difficult for him to actually find really progressive passes forwards. But one thing that I talked about last season that I would like to have seen us introduce was a little bit more risk with our play. And he's got a fairly simple pass on into Ruben Neves, but one that's fraught with danger. If he doesn't get it right, there are a couple of players converging on Neves. Neves doesn't necessarily have an immediate get-out ball if he does get closed down. But when you see the ball coming into him, he just opens his body out with his left foot and it's straight into Semedo. And he receives the ball in this kind of position here. And I think this is really where, obviously, the space has opened up for the team. We're in behind the midfield and we're able to get at their defence. But it's really important to note that, and it's something I've spoken about previously as well, the wide players not playing on the same lines. Now, reasonably, Semedo can kind of just make a run all the way down this right-hand channel and end up in a crossing position. He's got the pace, he's got the space, but I think what I really like about this is the fact that his immediate thought is actually to carry the ball inside. And what that does is it attracts attention, it attracts people needing to close him down, and it basically creates more space for our other forwards who are required to be mobile and required to make movements. But as long as they do that, they'll find themselves, you know, really causing trouble within that back line. And as I pointed out, players playing on the same lines, if you've not really kind of come familiar with it, would be if Semedo received the ball here, Podence kind of being stood right there. And the problem that sort of thing causes is that a defender would just kind of come out with Podence in that space, and it kind of just condenses things a little bit. You know, other players are able to kind of cover that area of the pitch. Whereas, and again, it's all incumbent on people being mobile. Semedo makes that run inside, and you see Podence kind of holding that position with Raul Jimenez as the forward, and he darts out into the wide space here. Now, the other intriguing thing that I liked about this was, reasonably, again, you can expect Semedo, having drawn the fullback inside, can play that ball directly out to Podence. What instead he does is play the ball into Jimenez, which again just brings more attention and more focus into the centre of the pitch and leaves Podence with acres and acres of space. And once he receives the ball, he makes the right decisions. And I mean, that's probably where we've been lacking a little bit. And it wasn't exactly, you know, a tap-in, a gimme of a finish where we've created that chance. But to go from the starting point of, you know, a goalkeeper in possession, the opposition reasonably, you know, well set in terms of their defensive shape, but actually pulling them apart and scoring a goal, that is where attacking football is, you know, a coach is kind of, you know, this is what we've been working towards, and I'm really, really pleased to see that we're capable of doing that sort of thing against a decent side as well. Now, Daniel Podence was, of course, the man selected to play that third attacking role alongside Hwang and Raul in this game, and he came up trumps really in this fixture, and he showed all the qualities that he provides that are different to the likes of Trincao and Traore. I've kind of championed Podence ever since he's arrived at the club. I think he's a really intelligent footballer. He picks up good spaces. He's got that lovely low centre of gravity and ability to dart away from people. And he's got no shortage of quality as well. So really pleased for him to actually be able to produce the goods and contribute towards a victory. I think, you know, if you watch him against Nottingham Forest and Tottenham in the Carabao Cup, you know, he was probably one of our best performers in those two games. And hopefully we get to see a little bit more of him, but there is a time and a place for Podence, and I think when you look at the data from the fixture against West Ham, you can really see the stark differences between when you might need a Traore or a Trincao, but when you could do with a Podence in the game. And when you look at things like carry distance, now we're used to seeing really huge numbers from our forwards in the front three, just because of the type of players that they are. Traore is always going to, you know, be in the hundreds of yards carried when he's got the ball at his feet. That's his one big strength. Trincao as well likes to go in and dribble past 2-3 men and actually just carry the ball from deeper positions. But Podence, you can see here, is below 100 yards, and you know there's a reason for that. He's much more adept at playing in tighter spaces, and you look at the average position of the Wolves squad. He actually plays as the highest man within the side, mainly because he's probably got that ability to receive the ball in the tighter spaces and do something with it. When you look at, you know, the amount of touches that he actually had on the ball, the amount of passes he completed, he wasn't actually heavily involved in the game. But when he did get into position to receive those balls, and he actually made something happen with it, I think he's top of the charts for key passes, which are passes that lead to a shot at goal. Expected assists, he's got one of the highest numbers for within the Wolves team as well. Carries into the penalty area rather than just carries from the middle third of the pitch forward. He's actually been able to move the ball when the ball's at his feet into dangerous positions. And you know, I think it's really important that when he does play, where we're able to dominate possession, and for large parts of this game we did, which allows him to play a little bit higher up the pitch. Because if you was finding Podence kind of in this kind of zone, you know, if you know someone like Traore can exploit a team from that space, Daniel Podence just isn't going to do it. So you have to build up play, build up possession, make sure the two in midfield are adept on the ball, and then find him in these kind of spaces. And you look at his touch map from the game, you can see we were finding him in the kind of positions that you want to find him, and he was able to combine with the other front two and ultimately produce the goods